Hello beautiful people. I know that I'm not looking like the cutest Michi on your street right now, but today's video is going to be a little get ready with me before I go take a shower and get back to studying video, because I'm taking a study break because I've been working really hard, so I deserve to take a break. So because med school is holding me down, this is basically the only time that I have to film. So I'm just gonna film a little bit of a chit chat, get ready with me, where I'm gonna be sharing with you guys something that I think is really important that I want to discuss with you. So if you'd like to hear what I have to say while I attempt to beat my face and maybe fix my hair, then do keep watching. I love you guys, and God ever stay blessing you. Mwah. Now today's video is going to be about something that I think is so important to have as a woman, especially in the current economic climate, political climate, corporate climate, you know, where women are basically looked down upon, and now even like the relationship climate that we have going on, where women are basically looked down upon in relationships, treated badly, abused in relationships. And I really feel that all of this from our side as women, yes, there are the men that are oppressing us and the men that are basically making us feel that we're less than what we actually are and less than what we actually are worth. But I feel like there's a contributing factor that we as women contribute to the situation, and that's self-worth and self-love. And that's what I wanted to talk about. The reason why I wanted to start with God is because God is love. God is the one that created us with the capacity and the ability to love, and God is the one that instilled the urge and the need to have another to love, and the need to have companionship and relationship and fellowship in our lives. And obviously He wouldn't create us with that need and that gaping hole that we all have in our hearts if He didn't know the best way for us to fill it. And I think filling that hole and filling that need to be loved and the need to love will always start with God. Because if you don't understand where loves come from, if you don't understand the bringer of love, if you don't understand the creator of love, and if you don't understand love itself, it's very, very difficult for you not to shortchange yourself in relationship situations and friendship situations and any sort of situation that basically makes you feel like you're less of what you actually are, because you don't realize how much you deserve to be loved. So forming a good, solid relationship with God, in terms of not just, I guess, calling upon God when we need Him, which is what a good amount of us do, myself included. When you're about to write that exam, you're about to go on that job interview, you're about to do 1,000,001 things, so now you need God because He has to do for you, because who else is going to bless you? But in terms of a day-to-day living, real, tangible relationship with God, a lot of us really honestly don't have that. And I want to rather have embarked on a journey where I've started working towards a more solid relationship with God. So I know that God has honestly blessed me with every single thing that I have in my life, and I really feel like I'm a person who at the moment has nothing that I can say that I lack, or nothing that I can say I can complain about, because God has truly been good to me. And I suppose that is also really just because I guess this is my season to be happy. Like the Bible says that there's a time to mourn, there's a time to cry, there's a time to reap, there's a time to sow. And I guess in my season at the moment, this is my time of reaping, and there's no way that I'm living my life reaping the benefits of these blessings, enjoying these blessings, without acknowledging the person that gave me all of these opportunities, the person that gave me the capacity to create. I mean, something as simple as my YouTube channel, something that I thought was going to be something small, that really wasn't going to go very far, has honestly slowly but surely continued to grow as into something as, I guess, more lucrative than I expected it to be. And for me, that is something that is more than worth me being thankful for, more than worth me glorifying and praising God for. So I really feel like going back to God is so important, because it will show us what we deserve. It'll set a benchmark for exactly what it is that you know you deserve. And yes, I know human beings are not perfect, and I know that the capacity that we have in ourselves to love will never ever match the capacity that God has in Himself to love, and that God has, or rather that God has shown and manifested to us, because human as we are, we err, and unfortunately we will hurt each other, we will make mistakes, we will do things that are not right, we will do things that will hurt other people. But at the end of the day, as long as we try to get as close to that carbon copy that is God, and we try to, as close as we can, mirror God and mirror his love for us and how we love other people. Because the truth about love is that, I mean, yes, 1 Corinthians 13 is the definition and the depiction of love, but we only ever hear those verses when people are getting married, or when, I guess, this new guy who's from church is trying to show you what a churchy guy he is. Now his definition of love is Corinthians 13, but you know that in reality and in application, a lot of us don't have those attributes and don't display those attributes. A lot of us are not long-suffering in our relationships. A lot of us are not kind in our relationships. A lot of us don't bear all things in our relationships. And that honestly speaks to the fact that the love that we're giving each other is short-changed, and it's not real love. And that, again, all stems from not being in connection with the creator of love himself. And self-love as well really truly begins with God. So if we could all go back to God, that would be a brilliant starting point for a better relationship with ourselves and an even better relationship with others. And there's so many of us who let our insecurities hold us back, our feeling of inadequacy hold us back, our feeling of, but I'm not good enough to do this, somebody else can do this, hold us back. And that really isn't a way to be living life, because if you never take that leap of faith, if you never take that shot, other people are going to. And unfortunately, you're going to be living your life and living your dreams vicariously through others, because you're just never brave enough to start. So we really need to stop allowing fear to hold us back. And also, I am a strong believer in the fact that a lot of the dreams that we have, or maybe even all of the dreams that we have, as long as they're God-led and God-inspired, are dreams that God has put in our minds. And the one that put them in your mind, trust that he has a way to make those dreams come true. So in you saying, but then this dream is too big, or this dream is too impossible, you're in some sort of minor way, or maybe even a major way, saying, God, this is too much. And basically you saying, God, this is too much, is essentially reiterating that you think God is incapable of using you to effect whatever dream he has put in your mind. And that is doubting God. And I honestly believe that there's so many women that are sitting around held back because they're sitting in a pool and a puddle of doubt. And we just need to stop doubting God. We just need to stop second guessing, and we need to start believing. The Bible says that you need to have faith as small as a mustard seed. And if you ever had to look at a mustard seed is tiny, guys. It's extremely tiny. And in the same context, he, after saying you need to have faith as small as a mustard seed, he says to the disciples, "O ye of little faith," meaning that the faith that they have is essentially nothing, because even the mustard seed is greater than the faith that they have. Because if they had faith as small as a mustard seed, they could move mountains, but they have such little faith that it essentially can't do anything, because it's effectively no faith at all. And I feel like so many of us are sitting in a position of faithlessness where we honestly just can't trust God to do anything in our lives, because it's always a, oh no, but not me, oh no, but how, oh no, but why, you know. And that really is so unfortunate. I mean, when I think of so many of the things that I've done in my life and where I am now, if I was sitting around half the time doubting myself, doubting my capabilities, I mean, something as basic as my university journey, guys. I've been in school forever, and from high school I was top of my class, I was the smartest, you know, doing the best that I could, I guess. And still, I didn't get into medical school straight on. So I had to go the long way around. I had to do another degree, and I needed to do, after doing another degree, because it's so difficult to get into university from, into medicine from university now. After that, I had to then go do an honors degree, because my university marks were not good enough for me to get into the medical program in university. I've already primed my skin, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to take my LA Girl Pro HD Concealer to conceal under my eyes. I've switched up my foundation routine a little bit. So if I was sitting around basically saying, oh no, but then my passion or what God has put into my heart is that I need to be a doctor. And I honestly believe that for me, medicine is a calling, and it really isn't just I really just want to be a doctor because of the prestige or whatever it brings. I honestly genuinely feel that this is my calling. Not even feel, I know that this is my calling because this is what God has put me on earth to do. So in saying that, if I had given up on the possibility of me eventually following my calling, or me eventually, what is it? Would it be following, expressing, eliciting, I don't know, whatever it is, my calling, then I honestly would have given up years ago, and I wouldn't be where I was today because I would have continued to doubt. I wouldn't have had faith. I would have kept finding excuses to bring about, or to give to God rather, for not doing what I knew that He set me out to do because it was just too difficult. My journey hasn't been easy. It honestly, genuinely has been difficult, more so on an emotional perspective than a physically difficult perspective, because emotionally it broke me not to get into med school head on, because I was just like, how is this my life? Because if there was anybody that I believed was deserving, it would have been me. But now when I look back at my life and I look at my journey, I realize why it was necessary for me to go through those things, because the person that I am today and the things that I'm able to do and the things that I'm able to share with other people and how I'm able to help other people who are on a similar journey is only because I had to go through what I had to go through. So even in the difficult situations, we need to trust that God has a plan, and we still need to put our faith in God, and we still need to do whatever it is that He said we should do, because there's a reason why He put your life in the situation that it's in, and there's a reason why He's still impressing on you that that is your future, that is your purpose, and this is what you need to be doing. And we need to stop doubting, and we need to start doing. And in finding love for yourself, or finding your purpose, or going on a journey of self-actualization or self-realization, then you move into a space where you can effectively God over your heart, God over yourself, and Lord over yourself, in the sense that if people are trying to two-time you, treat you badly, I mean, there's so many of us who are even in friendship relationships where you know your friends are using you, you know your friends are using you, you know that these people don't love you, and you know that these people don't deserve you, but you stay because you don't trust that there's anything better out there for you than these people who are honestly just screwing you over. And yeah, if there's a friend that came to mind when I said that, you need to reevaluate that relationship because you deserve better. And state of mind is so important. So we all need to make sure that we're in a state of mind where we realize that we are worth so much more than we think we're worth, because higher than the highest thought is God's ideal for us. And even the big crazy things that you could ever imagine, big crazy things that you could ever dream of or think of, are even so much less than what God has for you. And I'm going to use the Everlasting Foundation from Clarence, sorry. And I'm going to be using the Everlasting Foundation from Clarence. And you know, in realizing that higher than the highest thought, guys, higher than the highest thought is something huge, because it means no matter how much you can think, you'll never, ever, ever, ever even come close to fathoming what God has in store for you and what God has planned for you. And for me, that is mind-blowing, because I know that a lot of us have the craziest dreams, you know, the craziest dreams of what we think we deserve, what we think we should be doing, what we think life should be for us. And the Bible says even that is nowhere close to where God wants you to be or what God wants for your life. So we really need to start realizing that these beginnings that we're wasting our time with because we don't think that we can do better, it's not even a thing, fam. It's not even close to being a thing, because God has so much more in store for you, so much more. So that all emanates from trust. So we need to start trusting. I need to start trusting that God can do better. It's not just you that can do better, because God is the one that has plans for you. God is the one that has all these big goals and dreams for you that he's manifesting by putting them in your mind, but those are his. And honestly, he can do better than whatever struggling, tough, failing, hurtful, traumatizing relationship situation that you're in. God can definitely do better. You can't be confident of something that you're not sure of, you know? Confidence is way more than just putting on this face in the morning, putting on this smile in the morning, putting on this attitude in the morning. It starts from the inside. And the inside needs to realize that it's worthy. The inside needs to realize that it's capable. And the inside needs to realize that it's important. And once we've started there, pretty much everything else on the outside will fall into place. And that's the only way it can go, because it essentially is a chain reaction. There's no way that everything else can be positive, everything else can be on the outlook, everything else can be focused, and then everything that manifests from it is like the opposite of that. That's not possible, because that's nature. It doesn't work that way. So even if you haven't reached a point in your life where these things are manifesting on the outside, the fact that you started believing these things on the inside, you started acting in that way, you started living in that way, that is a big step in the very right direction. So we need to start realizing that we deserve better than this, or whatever it is that you're going through that you know you've put yourself in, because there's so many situations, you know, that we're always like, oh, but God, why? But God, why? But essentially, you've really just put yourself in that situation, and you can't be asking God why, because he should be asking you why. Because when you decided to go and do A, B, C, and D, or you decided to go against his will, and you decided to go be Lord of your own life, you know, he was sitting there wondering where you were going, because he knew that it wasn't going to end very well. So we need to start thinking and reevaluating our lives from a perspective of, is this what I deserve? If you know that people are trashing you, people are treating you badly, these people don't deserve you, then by all means do something about it, you know? Do something about it, because some situations can turn into really bad situations really quickly. And things like abusive relationships, for instance, as women, we need to honestly get out of the paradigm of our worth being made something that's tangible and something that's real by a man. Because a lot of women who especially have been in longer term relationships don't think that they can leave, because in their minds, what am I going to do without this person? How am I going to be better without this person? Because this person is my whole life. And my whole life in the sense that I've been with this person my whole life. So if I decide to leave, where do I go? What do I do? How do I live without this person? Literally, how do I start again without this person? Because my life outside of this, I don't know what that is. And unfortunately, that comes also from making human beings matter more than God matters to us. Because the person that you should be thinking, how do I live outside of this person? How do I live without this person? That's God's place. And sometimes, I honestly believe that sometimes God allows certain things to happen to us in our relationships and the people, or rather with the people that we choose to be with, especially when those people become our gods. Because unfortunately, if somebody else or something else in your life is God in the place of God, trust that he's going to work as hard as he can to remove that thing so that you can remember who's God. Because if you're lauding a boyfriend, lauding a job, lauding success, lauding a degree, lauding anything that isn't God, unfortunately, God still has the power to humble you and remind you that that's my place. And that's very painful at times, very, very painful at times. And unfortunately, at the same time, it has to be done. So maybe sometimes our relationships are failing, our friendships are struggling, our jobs are failing, everything is struggling because we're just not giving God his place, and he's just simply asking you to let him be in his place. Let him be Lord and God of your life, because that is his job. And the beauty of having God in that place is that God will never disappoint you. God will never make mistakes. God will never put you in compromising situations. God will never make you do something that he knows is wrong. God will just never compromise you. And unfortunately, a lot of things do. A lot of people do. A lot of situations compromise us. A lot of things hurt us. A lot of things break us. But the only person that would never do that is God. And we forget that. And we lose ourselves. And sometimes the only way for him to bring us back is usually the most painful way. And that's just because we also hold on to some of these things so hard, like you're just not willing to let go. As soon as you start losing the plot, God is gonna remind you. So maybe sometimes for our own sakes, we need to realize who should come first. We need to realize what should come first. And in doing that, you'll set yourself up for such a beautiful situation, because even though the journey with Christianity and the journey with God is not a perfect one, trust that God will definitely reward his saints. And if you're doing the right things, living the right way, and if it's not a teachable moment, then joy in the Lord you will find. And joy also shouldn't be circumstantial, because joy should be beaming from you. Joy should be beaming from your heart at any given point in time. So whether it's a tough situation, an easy situation, a good situation, a bad situation, you should always remember to give thanks. Okay, so we're going to use this on the lips, and this is the Clarins lipstick, and this is in the shade Orange Fizz. And I actually hadn't looked at the lipstick. I think it'll go with the eyes very nicely. That's pretty. I can never apply lipstick like without getting it all over the place. It's so annoying. But this lip color is beautiful, guys, especially with the brown liner. So I'm just gonna take my translucent powder, that I used on my face, and set my lips with that. So this would be better to do with like a white translucent powder, because mine is in the shade Caramel. It is altering the lip color just a little bit, but in such a nice way, because I'm like a firm lover and believer in browns. So for me, this is just stunning, because I love brown yellow. So just gonna continue highlighting. This is gonna be such a long video, but it serves a purpose. Is this even coming on? I can't see. Oh! Definitely coming on. Wow. Okay. Okay. I never expected it. Never ever. Never ever expected it. Number one, we need to connect with whatever higher power we believe in. We need to tap into the source of love, so that we can understand love, so that we can receive the right kind of love. Point number two, while I set my face, is that we need to go on a journey of self-discovery, discovering who we are, discovering what our purpose is, and discovering what God's plan for our lives is, so that we can effect that plan to achieve contentment. Point number three is that in all of that, we need to then be confident in what God has blessed us with, be confident in the path that God has set us on, and be confident in the fact that God has the capability, the power, and all of the willingness and the will to make His purpose through you manifest and come true. And that is why he gave you that purpose. That is why he gave you that gift. That is why he gave you those dreams, because he intended to make it true. He intended to bring those to fruition. So we need to trust him. We need to believe him. And it all starts from us learning how to love him. So I hope my little very preachy chit chat video, oh, these curls actually came out a lot prettier than I thought they would. I hope that this little preachy chit chatty video, you know, which is a little bit different to what I'm used to doing, has been meaningful to you guys, and will give you guys, or rather bring to you guys the, at least the thought, you know, of having a second look at your relationship with God, having a second look at your relationship with your higher power, having a second look into what we're accepting as love, what we're accepting as what we're worth, how we see ourselves, how we see our worth. So we just need to go back to basics, start at the beginning, and hopefully that will lead us on a beautiful journey to where our purposes lead and where God intends our paths to end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I actually really like this braid out. Like, this might just become my standard hairstyle. How cute does this look, guys? I think this looks so cute. I would probably fluff it up, but fluff it out a bit more, because I'm all about the thicker hair. I'm all about the puffy hair. I'm all about the vroom. But this is cute. This is really cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys. And yeah, if you stayed for like all 30 minutes of this, I'm in dire shock. But I love you guys, and God ever stay blessing you. And remember to stay beautiful, stay true, and always follow your purpose. And remember that God absolutely loves you, and I love you too. God bless, guys. Good night.